Hi and welcome to Weasel TV. I'm the Sarge with the Paintball Weasels here in London, Ontario. What I've got for you today, Empire Trracer. It's been out for a little while, but we've just picked one up. Wanted to show you what it's all about. A cool little macro mod we've come up with. We're just going to go over what getting the Empire Trracer and what you get for it. What you get is the marker receiver, the pump handle, already attached, standard barrel bag, barrel sock requirement at all fields. Plugs aren't allowed anymore. Clamping feed neck for the rail there. Bag of O-rings and Allen keys you're going to need for this. All important barrel. Now a cool feature that's come with it this year, or just now, is the autococker threaded, so it'll accept all autococker back barrels you currently have for your guns if you have any. And an extra long Allen key which you'll need to change the velocity, and what you'll do is stick it down the barrel if it's attached, or down here. Right makes it go faster, left decreases the ball speed. Anyway, we're here to do the macro line mod, so what we're going to do first, cool feature too, they designed the first strike round capable, so now you can hand feed first strike rounds. This design shape there allows you to actually use the first strike round, so that's pretty cool. We're going to take the pump arm off by undoing these screws. Pull that off. Now what you're going to do, make sure that this end lines up with there. Slide it over the rail, like so. Make sure it's in place. Depressing the button, push it back. It will lock into place. Then you can go ahead and put this back on. Just do the screws up. Do the other one. Pretty cool. Also, now you can install the barrel. Merely place it through there, make sure it lines up with the receiver back here, and screw it in. Now it has a little O-ring on there. I would suggest lubing up with a little bit of marker oil just to seal it up. I see a bearing, or an O-ring, and I want to lube it up. So lube it up. Doesn't have to be excessive, just enough to make it slide in. Alright, and there you have it. What you're going to need is your standard back cap, male to female fitting. Doesn't matter what color, we just had this one lying around. And also you're going to need an elbow, macro line elbow. And what that'll do is once it's on, it'll curl around the marker, bringing the macro line to the front, just how we want it to. So once you've acquired these things, you're going to need an ASA as well, with another macro line housing. The two screws which will attach the ASA to the bottom. And what you're going to want is a piece of strapping. We found this off a shopping bag, one of them recyclable shopping bags. And you're going to need about 2 inches of it. And what you're going to do is pull the macro line down out of the way of the pump here. So what you're going to first do is assemble everything with Teflon tape. You don't want it to seize. Just go ahead and screw that on the marker. There is an O-ring there too, and I suggest lubing it as well, especially when there's air involved. Alright. The next step you're going to want to do is get your ASA there, your screws, and go ahead and put that in, making sure the macro runs to the front of the gun. Put those in there like that. I'm just going to bring it over here like this. Allen key. Screw those in nice and tight as well. I'd suggest giving it a couple extra cranks. Last thing you want is your bottle loose. It is dangerous if improperly done. So make sure that's on there snugly. Don't over tighten or you're going to strip your screws or your Allen key head there. Just make sure they're nice and snug. It's not going anywhere. Do a little wiggle test. There you go. Okay, the next part. Now that you've already done that, you've got your macro line houses ready, go ahead and get yourself a fairly good macro line housing or a hose at your local paintball retailer. It shouldn't come to more than $5-6 for a length of hose this long. We're looking at about a 13-14 inch length. Get it to suit your hand size. If you're a big fella, you're going to want to run it a little bit bigger to make sure your hand fits in there. So what you're going to do is pop it in. Macro line is very easy to install. You just merely push it in until it doesn't go any further, and it won't come back out unless you depress this and pull. Depress, pull. Very easy. Now go ahead and tuck in the other side into that one. So there you have it. Very nice, very simple. Now you see what our dilemma is. You got macro line housing rubbing against metal parts. It's going to cause wear, interfere, cause a jam, whatever. You don't want that happening. So what we've done is a simple solution. You're going to want to undo your grips, because you're going to use one of the grip screws to attach your piece of strapping that you got earlier. So go ahead and pull those screws out. Don't put them far, you're going to need them. Now with the strapping, what you're going to do is, you see these holes I've put in here already? What that's going to do is line up with the hole in the grip. And it's going to go in behind the grip, so it's going to be like that, pulling this cable down out of the way like so. It works, we've done it, so we're going to show you. I used a drill. You could use a punch, anything you have lying around with a sharp end. Make sure you're not doing it on your leg. Piece of wood works well. You're going to want to line that up. Now a little trick we figured out. Let's go ahead and put the screw in first. Then you can hook the line, pull it down, hook the one piece in, hook the other piece in. I don't know if you can see that, but it's getting hooked over. So now that it's there attached to the screw, you just need to find the hole. Get your Allen key and screw that back in. I hope you at home can see this. It's very easy to do. It keeps it clean and out of the way. And what we've currently seen is the macros are coming out and going into a side housing, and then you have the macro line interfering with grab points, whether you want to switch hands or not. It's up to you, but at least it won't be in the way when you choose to do so. Go ahead, put that last screw back in. Now to truly make your marker yours, there's a host of accessories you can buy from BT that'll fit on these Picatinny rails. We have a folding grip that I like to put on there. You merely pull out the screw, attach it, it goes back here. If you don't like grips, you don't need it. It's a comfortable pump handle, so it works well. You got a 10-round feed tube you can also put in. It fits perfectly within it. I did the backwards modification so that it now sits forward instead of the standard back way. Very easy to do. Pop the caps off and move it. Or you could just use a standard hopper, gravity fed. Works very well. We got a 13 cubic inch HPA tank, high pressure air. Always use caution when doing this. We're going to pressurize this, make sure we have no leaks. As it fills, everything's good, it's nice and tight. I can hear there's no leaks. Going to test fire it, always on safe, make sure nothing was in there, and there you go. And there you have the Empire Trracer, fully equipped with macro line and ASA, coming down how it should, doesn't interfere. 13 cubic inch bottle, no leaks, it works, I'm telling you, and it looks very nice.